It's easy to see why, in 1844, Walter Hume was eager to settle in this place. He became the first white settler to occupy the mouth of the Pinnebog River, trading with local Native Americans for a number of years before true industry arrived at the place. Over the following decades, the spot would grow to support a population of nearly 300, only to lose them all again. The settlement took on the name Pinnebog, and it began to take off with the addition of a sawmill in 1851. As more people moved in for the lumber industry, more business made its way to Pinnebog. Foresters would chop down trees in the winter, relying on the ice and snow to carry the logs back to town by sleigh. Every year there was speculation as to when the first ships would roll in off the waters of Lake Huron to collect their lumber. The first would arrive as early as February or as late as April. This level of excitement continued to draw more into the area. By 1868, there was a large enough population in Pinnebog to establish a post office. The new postmaster liked the shape of the beach the town sat on and opted to title the place Port Crescent on the postal map. Despite the objections of many residents, the name stuck, and Port Crescent continued to grow. Local mines had struck salt in 1870, and the biggest schoolhouse in all of Huron County was constructed there the following year to meet the demands of the increasing number of families in the area. Local wildfires had reoriented the town to rely more on its mines than its lumber, but this was not a concern. For 10 years, there was continued success for the residents of Port Crescent. But in 1881, a disaster would forever change the entire region. A great fire had swept across the entire thumb, and Port Crescent was caught by the blaze. What still remained of its lumber industry was gone, forcing the relocation of its sawmills. The loss of the town's central industry for the past 30 years was a devastating blow from which it would never recover. One by one, residents began looking for work in adjacent towns, and in some cases, entire buildings were deconstructed and moved to the neighboring towns of Kins, Port Austin, and Grindstone City. A demand for the sand in the area prolonged Port Crescent's decline, but this was not enough to keep the town afloat. By 1894, all of its buildings were gone. Mining ships continued to collect the area's sand, but by 1936 they too had moved on. Today, a state park envelops the land that this lost town once occupied. Visitors can enjoy miles of trails, woods, and sand dunes, though the effects of the decades of sand harvesting are still felt today. No signs remain of Port Crescent save for this bridge that crosses a smaller branch of the Pinnebog River. It serves to symbolize the history of the town as a whole. A robust structure, as efficient as it is elegant, but a fleeting one all the same.